Well, we started this kind of action-oriented training nearly 40 years ago, as you said. And we started in Southeast Asia first. Now in Japan, Korea, and some other countries, the same approach has been applied for addressing mental stress issues. Situations are different, and the composition of working people different. But the approach can be comprehensive, multi-risk oriented, practical improvements. Management systems can have different types, but the aim is clear. We address the most important issues jointly, especially at the workplace level with a joint effort of employers and workers. An approach must be not problem-oriented, solution-oriented.
Esto es Punto de Reunión.
So here we are again. Now I am very glad to have this opportunity to speak with Professor Kogi, one of our main instructors here in this trainee program. This is a very great opportunity for me because he's been, I don't know, more than 50 years experience working in some matters related to safety, occupational safety. So thank you very much for being with us today.
Buenos días, estoy muy feliz.
We are also very happy to have you here. And well, I would like to start asking you, what have you done in the last, I don't know, probably 50 years or maybe more in matters related to occupational safety, and of course, mostly here in AOTS, which is your home, probably. You've been spending a lot of time working for them. So could you please tell us a little bit about your time here?
Well, we started this kind of action-oriented training nearly 40 years ago, as you said.
Okay.
And we started in Southeast Asia first.
Okay.
Then the activities have been very successful, and with the support of the International Labour Organization, we could approach many countries, and the approach has been approved both by the government, labor ministries, occupational safety and health institutions, as well as by employers' organizations and labor unions.
Wow.
In many countries, and the approach has been then adopted by some African countries, as well as by Latin American countries as well, especially Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and also some people in Mexico have adopted to this approach. So we also conducted such international courses. And I'm very pleased that the approach have been quite spread. And there is one very good reason. In 2003, the International Labour Organization, which conducts annual International Labour Conference, and in that particular year, the International Labour Conference, with the representatives of tripartite, government, employers and workers representatives, jointly adopted a joint resolution about promoting occupational safety and health internationally. And they...
Finally.
Well, not finally, because they have adopted many conventions and recommendations related to occupational safety and health for so many years. But in that particular year, they adopted a resolution for promoting occupational safety and health. And one clause in that recommended our approach, wise approach. So resolution said that this approach should be spread internationally.
Exactly.
And that was the backing of the countries joining in the ILO. So that was a good impetus for our future activities. And then also approach have been spreading. And as you may have noted, we have also adopted this approach for addressing mental stress issues. And mental stress has become an international topic, which requires a lot of attention because people suffering from mental diseases or depression and also other aspects of poor communication among the working people, among the employers and workers, have been an important issue in any country, in any sector. And we have found that our approach can also address that. So now in Japan, in Korea, and some other countries, the same approach has been applied for addressing mental stress issues.
Yeah, development of occupational safety has been different in many parts of the world. We know for underdeveloped countries like Mexico, like Latin America, like Africa, they have different needs and they put their people to work in different conditions. And sometimes these conditions are not optimal. And sometimes it's the need above the need of the country is above the need of the people. So they send children to work, they send women to work to open air mining.
You are correct, yes.
So it's the development has been different.
Developments are different, situations are different, but there is a core issue.
Exactly.
People have noted.
That's my point.
That was expressed by occupational safety and health management systems.
And this is something AOTS has been doing.
Yes.
To put them all together
AOTS,
to the same level.
Yes. And management systems have been adopted since the last part of the 20th century in any country.
Yeah.
In Japan, the labor laws have adopted occupational safety and health management systems in Japan in 1999, at the end of the 20th century. So that has been incorporated into Japanese labor laws.
Compulsory.
Yes, officially.
Officially.
So the employers and workers are encouraged to promoting management systems means address in a comprehensive manner the risks at the workplace.
Yeah.
And for that purpose, situations are different and the composition of working people different. Mm-hmm. But the approach can be comprehensive, multi-risk oriented, practical improvements.
Simple.
So people have noted, according to the principles of management systems can have different types, but the aim is clear. We address the most important issues jointly, especially at the workplace level with a joint effort of employers and workers. An approach must be not problem-oriented, solution-oriented.
Exactly.
And that is the management system. Management systems adopt solution-oriented approaches. So you may find so many problems, different problems, but the approach can be
the same.
Solid ones, nearly the same. To involve both employers and workers, let local people find good practices existing, and then use these existing good practices as models, and then address the issue jointly, especially in a participatory manner, involving people working there.
Mostly
and
managers.
They are confronting problems. So let them discuss among themselves. Then they can find solutions. Because we, humankind, is clever.
And in the end, we are the same. It's very interesting for me to see in this group, we are from, I think, 17 different countries, different backgrounds, different studies.
Backgrounds.
And you are using, when you are teaching us, you are using these techniques for all these different kind of people, and we all get it. We all understand it, and it could seem for some a little playful, or you do this very well, like with teaching us origami or teaching us games and memory games, and it looks probably that a little distracting, but I think it's so powerful because you go to the core of the human being. So everybody likes to play. Everybody likes memory games. Everybody likes to laugh and to have fun. So when you teach in this way, you take the knowledge easier, and you take it home, and hopefully you will share it in the same way, because you are also training people to train. We are going back to train our people.
Some people like best practices. I am different. I like good practices. If you say best practices, that can rarely occur.
Yeah.
But good practices occur everywhere. Every working people jointly address existing multiple risks and problems, and they are adopting good practices day by day, year by year.
Yeah.
And that is the source of our wisdom, not the ideas coming from the best people. Ideas come from ourselves.
Wow.
That is very important. That is the core issue of occupational safety and health.
And it's beautiful to know that AOTS has been done this work for so many years.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if you keep touch with some of your previous students, and I would like to ask you, how was it for them? If any of them has told you, hey, professor, after 10 years, I have done this back in my country, and these changes have been so powerful. I don't know if you have here some transformational experiences from all these people that have been here 10 or 20 years ago, that come to you and tell you their experiences. Have you heard that?
Well, we started this approach in collaboration with employers' organizations in 1994.
Okay.
We first started this type of seminar for workplace people in 1994 in Pakistan.
Okay.
We were asked by the employers' organizations in Pakistan as well as in Japan, because Japanese employers' organization at that time, the different one from the current one, but the previous one, had an international cooperation center. And they collaborated with the employers' organizations in each country. So in that case, in 1994, the collaboration was starting with Pakistan, though there are a few separate employers' organizations, but we collaborated with one of them, and very successful. We used the same approach. We we emphasize the value of existing local good practices, and building on that, people can adopt new ideas in a different manner and can propose new ideas which can be implementable.
Yeah.
Then we found that this approach should be done also in other countries. So by the beginning of this century, this kind of approach has been adopted by about 15 countries in Asia.
Okay.
With the collaboration of employers' organization. And of course, the way they will follow up might be different from country to country. But the idea is spreading, I think. And that's why we can keep our collaboration
I
with
like
employers.
Japan is a reference as a country for many things, like education, good practices, Kaizen 5S, a lot of methodologies that you have created along the time in your government or companies, and very successful companies. But the great thing that I appreciate is that you share this knowledge. You create this knowledge and immediately you share it with your people, and then
sharing
all
is
over
very
the world.
important.
Because knowledge without sharing it values nothing. It's nothing. You have to share it.
Right.
Why you study if not to share what you are studying for yourself? It's not for you. It's to give it to the people, to keep this growth of the knowledge growing. Because once we die, we take nothing. Whatever MBA, doctorate, or whatever we have, we will take it nowhere. It's like unless you share it. So
yes, that's right.
I appreciate that Japanese people and government is very good on that. And my other question is, how do you see the future? What is coming? You already mentioned that mental health is a very big issue now, and probably is going to be the biggest disease that we're going to fight in the future. We are solving so many diseases through genetics, through biomedics, technology, printing organs. So probably we will not get physically sick. We are going to get mentally sick. So what is the future for labor organizations and for HNS and for future entrepreneurs? What are they should focus for the future working environment?
Well, thanks to the collaboration with the International Labour Office, we could spread this idea and approaches. And typical example is the Global Manual for WISE, which means WISE stands for Work Improvement in Small Enterprises, WISE. E means enterprises, S small, I improvement, W work. So WISE approach means participatory approach addressing the working conditions issues in smaller enterprises, but that can also apply in bigger enterprises, of course, middle-sized enterprise, of course. After all enterprises have separate workplaces.
Okay.
And so WISE can be applied everywhere. And this global manual has been published by the ILO and is now spreading. You can easily download it in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's not a thick manual, it's a thin manual showing how you address improvements at the workplaces to get better condition in multifaceted areas. Work, materials handling, workstation design, ergonomics, environmental issues, welfare facilities, teamwork arrangements. People can address these issues quite easily if they look at existing good practices and learning from a short manual like this one.
Yeah.
And that can be spread. If people agree to spend 1 hour
studying this.
Yeah. You see, we started this mental stress improvement activities in different parts of Japan, and this also adopted to some extent in Korea and in other Southeast Asian countries. Our approach, especially we are doing with local government offices, requires 1 hour.
1 hour.
Asking each workplace to organize 1 hour meeting.
1 hour a day?
No.
Every week?
Once a year.
Once a year. 1 hour.
1 hour.
Okay. Wow.
And provide a short manual with 21 items in that occasion. This is the action checklist we described.
Okay.
And each person use the checklist that can be done in 5-10 minutes. Then they organize 1 hour meeting. And then they discuss what are the good conditions in our workplace. Mm-hmm. And they agree with 3 good conditions.
Start with the good.
Always starting with the existing good conditions.
Okay.
And then they start. Then what can we improve? Using a list of suggestions, short list of suggestions, you can easily modify the ideas, of course. So at the end of 1 hour, people can agree, we may do this and that. And normally, that sort of suggestions can be approved by the workplace manager, because managers would be glad to see improved situations, of course. They like also improvements. So normally in 2 or 3 months, or in that case I mentioned, by the end of year, each different workplaces could do 1 or 2 or 3 improvements. They report back, and so we give feedback. Feedback is very important. Very important.
Yeah.
Feedback. So many suggestions done mostly. And examples are about welfare facilities, examples are standing posture, examples are the use of push carts and so on, or organized material storage. Labeling is the key. And they can be fed back to all the participating workplaces.
And continue the improving process.
Then that can be continued in the next year.
Yeah.
So as a matter of saying, we are saying we require 1 hour a year.
1 hour a year.
To make progress. Of course, if you organize such activities, then people realize, we can do this, and from time to time. And there might be some excellent ideas, which might be sometimes costly, but managers tend to agree after all. If the situation become better and productivity increase, then improvements can build up.
Over and over, yeah. So you already gave us key points in just a very short conversation that I'm sure are so valuable. But if I ask you to give one final advice to the people that is listening,
well, I give you 2 advice.
Or 2 or 3, of course. What would you say?
One is, please build on local practice.
Okay.
Start from locally existing good examples and build on that. Build on local practice. The second advice is, I told your colleagues already, small wins first.
Okay.
Don't target at grandiose improvements or best practice. Start with small, good improvements which people can propose easily. Low cost type. Built on such small improvements. Small improvements can be represented by wins. Wins mean win is winning.
Winning.
Win means many small wins.
Okay.
Improvements. We can build on small improvements. So our slogan, in fact, in many countries, in many sectors, small wins first. In order to do that, the first advice, build on local practice.
Excellent. Great. Well, we have to continue our last day of training.
Training.
So thank you very much for this opportunity of talking with you, and I have this chance also to thanks for our chance to be here for me, and we'll keep it going. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. It means muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Have a good day. So here we are. Finally, we had this interview with Professor Kogi, and we will continue interviewing some other colleagues. So thank you very much.